And so ends the Nuno Espirito Santo reign at Wolves. Not on the note that we all hoped it would, but I feel like we can all kind of consider this a decent point at which to walk away from each other, shake hands, and appreciate what we've had. Kind of typical way for us to end the Nuno reign, I think, with a bit of a lacklustre attacking performance. And despite pressure and despite possession and all that kind of thing, we didn't manage to kind of get over the line with this game. But ultimately, this is we're an established Premier League club as a result of the work that Nuno's done, and that can't be taken away from him, from the legacy that he's going to leave with the club. He'll always have a pretty special place at Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we greatly appreciate what he's done. That said, like I say, it's probably a good point in which to make a change, and quite excited for what could be about to come for us as a bit more of a transition into more of an attacking side, I hope. The last year of football really hasn't been anything to get the pulse racing, shall we say, and ultimately I think Nuno had taken as far as we could, so it's time to really have a look and serious consideration for how we're going to get the most out of the talent that we have at our disposal, because we have some really, really good footballers at our club. I think they showed that today even as well, that there's a lot of technical ability in there, a little bit lacking in the final third, but with a bit more of a nuanced system and whatnot, maybe we can do a little bit more with that. But thank you again, Nuno, for bringing me some of the best times of my life as a Wolves fan, taking us to Europe, winning us the league title, beating the biggest clubs in this country on a number of occasions, not just the odd shock result here and there. We've actually gone out and done a number on some of these big teams, which is incredible, and those moments won't ever be forgotten. So good luck for the rest of your career as well.
So the game itself wasn't as terrible as we all expected, and yeah, it was against Man United's third choice 11, I suppose, but you can only play what's in front of you. I thought Semedo was superb today, finally, getting people to realise how good he can actually be and given the chance. Neves, I thought, had a bit of spark in his eye again, but a few balls over the top. Our weaknesses all season were exposed by a cross, shock horror there, but at the other end, there was nothing. We didn't look a threat, did we, at all? There was nothing. There's no movement at all. Mentioned in commentary again, no movement whatsoever up front. No one in the box. William Jose, complete and utter waste of time. But forget all that. It's a day of saying thanks for Nuno and the 4 years that we've had. I mean, that shirt there, European shirt. Never thought I'd say that regards to Wolves. And for that reason alone, he'll be a legend forever. It ended sadly, and it's probably for the best for everyone, but yeah, we'll love you forever, Nuno.
On the face of it, we just lost at home to Man United's reserves. Yes, some things went against us, but on the face of it, that's not a good result. And that's 3 losses in a row now, I think. So maybe, if anything, that was the signal that change was needed. Not a good performance, really. Maybe a few decent performances. I thought Silva and Semedo both had good games. I was very happy to see Semedo finally get a goal, because I know that fans can be a bit Marmite about him. Hopefully he's won a few people over there, because his attacking intent is fantastic. Maybe it's just a bit of his defence that he needs to work on. But very happy for him. Adama getting injured, I thought, was one of the catalysts for the result. He looked very dangerous in the first half when he was on, and then as soon as he came off after already being 1-0 down, I thought that was it, game over already, because he was our biggest threat by a mile. But we did give it a go without him, but a lot of the attacks just kind of were fleeting and weren't very dangerous, bar the goal and maybe a couple of other chances. But if the injuries sum up the season, especially to key players like losing him, there's a Neto and Johnny, but hopefully Adama's isn't too serious. He walked off, so maybe that'll be a good sign. But great seeing the fans in again. That's all. That's what I'll say. I'm sure everyone would agree. The fans were loud. They made a difference. I think even without Nuno, it being Nuno's last game, I think that we know how good our fans can be on their day. They can spur a team on. Singing Nuno's name for the entire game, it was really nice to see, and see them get onto the players a bit and encourage them. But the VAR, I've never liked it, and if it does go, I can't see it ever being scrapped, but if it does go, I'll be a very happy man. Nevertheless, though, it was a foul. I know Wolves fans will probably disagree and won't like to hear that, because not all contact is a foul and all that. But if that happened against us, I'd be screaming for a penalty. Saiss, he followed through and with his right, I think it was his right foot, was it? And he caught Van der Beek. There's no two ways about it. And if, like I said, if that happened to us, I'd be saying that's a Stonewall penalty. Unfortunately, really, I don't like Saiss at centre back, and I hope that he isn't starting there next season. I think we need to find someone much better than that, because he's not up to the standard. Main event Mike Dean again. As soon as I saw he was reffing the match, I knew that he'd be a big part of the game, and his decisions were laughable at times. Whether he, I don't know if he's got Man United players in his fantasy team or something, but some of the fouls he gave against us and he wouldn't give against them was an absolute joke. And maybe VAR, maybe he needs all the help he can get with VAR. I'm not sure, but I'm not rant over about him. All I've got to say is thank you, Nuno. Thank you so much for giving me the best years of my life as a Wolves fan. And it's going to be hard to see you go. I mean, it's not been a great season, we know that, but it's quite rare that we get to see our manager go away on with such a good reception. I'm so used to us sacking managers that it's just nice to be able to have the fans say bye to you and see the reception that you got outside of the stadium before the match. But thank you so much, and best of luck in whatever it is you do in the future. And now we get on to the summer and we can whinge about England instead in the Euros. Thanks for Fancast for having me on, and all the best for your summer.
Hi guys, what a disappointing game. Manchester United really did put out a weak B team against Wolves, and I really thought we'd get something out of this game, at least a point. I'm just gutted Saiss gave him the penalty. I just thought it's something he could probably have got away with. He didn't have to go in so fucking hard on the player, but I suppose he has to try and get the ball from him. But it always seems to be Saiss going in with the almost ankle-breaking kind of tackles. So fair play to Man United. They look like the better team the first half. We were definitely better second half, but yet again couldn't score. Story of our lives at the moment. The problem is we're just missing Raul, Podence when he's at good form, and Neto, and hopefully those three players will be back next season. Definitely Podence and Raul at the start of the season, and hopefully Neto when he's due back in October. Really upsetting seeing Nuno go, but I wish him all the best. I absolutely loved him as a manager, and I thought he did a great job, but I do think everything comes to an end, and I think it's good that he's been able to go now with his head high. I do think that we need a change. I do think the new manager that needs to come in needs to know how to play a back four and how to play proper attacking football. And I think now the transfer window opens in 2 weeks' time. We need to look at buying at least a decent, tall centre back, a centre midfielder that's an attacking centre midfielder that can get the ball going, and also a forward. And I think we need to go for someone that's a forward that can play as a striker and a winger, or maybe attacking midfielder and a winger, because we need someone that's versatile. Someone like Piera can play in both roles, so we need more players that are able to play in different positions when we have got these kind of injuries. showed today, not one winger now that we've got that's able to play. Traore, Pundits, Neto injured, Theo Carabonu, whatever his name is, injured. We're really lacking depth. So whoever comes in, we need to get a bigger squad. Really, we can afford not to get rid of anyone. We need as many players as we can get, at least 3 more new players. But that's it all from me. Really disappointing end to the season, but I'm really glad to see Nuno get a decent send-off.
Well, there we go then. Nuno has left the building. I think there's quite emotional scenes there today. First of all, the great scenes down outside the ground before kick-off. Good, well-natured chanting for Nuno. Lots of pyro by the lads set off, all in support of Nuno when the coaches arrived. That was great to see. At the end of the game, I thought it was quite iconic with him walking on his own down the tunnel. A bit of an iconic moment there. So yeah, he's part of the pack now, and he will be sadly missed. I'm sure more reasons about his departure will come out in the wash as the days and weeks go on. But as for the match itself, it's kind of just more of the same, really, from what we've seen this season. It was disappointing that Adama had to go off so early because he pretty much was having Tellez on toast with a bit of cheese on top for the short time that he was on the pitch. Once Adama went off, we didn't really have any more of that attacking drive anymore. Replacing for Jose was ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that William Jose, I'm glad we see the back of him there because I think he's just an imposter of a footballer, really. But after that, it was just much for muchness, really. No real great chances created by us. Yeah, nothing really much to write home about as a spectacle, really. I was hoping for a little bit more for Nuno's final game. I was hoping it would go out with a bit of a bang, but again, it was going out with a bit of a whimper, really. So there we are. There we have it. Interesting summer ahead. A lot of changes could be in store with new manager, new backroom staff, which players are going to come and go. If we saw the last game of Patricio and Matinho, all these questions that I'm looking forward to being answered over the summer. So yeah, we'll probably be discussing that on the Fancast. So stick with us for that. And yeah, onwards and upwards to the new guy.